Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question of the Day. We'll be right back right after a short intro. And we are back. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. I'm glad it's almost in the books, but I got 4 more freaking days of work to go yet before we head off to Granger House on Saturday. So, my guest with us tonight is Justin J Soto. He is from Visually Crypt TV. You can find him on YouTube under Visually Crypt TV and PARAFlixx.com, Visually Crypt TV. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. For those of you, you all have seen him at Broadhead Manor. He was just there at the Springs in the Springs in the Spirit?
Spirits in the Spring?
Spirits in the Spring. I always get that mixed confused.
That's all right. It's hard. It's easy to mess that up. It's a lot
of words. Nathaniel. And so he was there with a whole bunch of other vendors, and this guy is from Wisconsin, and he's an urbexer. So this is the first time having someone here for urbexing legally.
Most of the time, yes.
Yes.
So far.
So if you haven't caught up with him, I tell you, go to his YouTube channel. You'll see all his cool stuff. He's got a couple of shows right now on PARAFlixx, which a third one's coming out probably soon.
Yep, very shortly.
So, yeah. So, Justin, let's let the people know who you are and how you got started into the paranormal field.
Yeah. So basically, my name is Justin. I am 39 years old. I'm from originally it's Muskego, Wisconsin, Waukesha County, just outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I was always interested as a kid in the paranormal. So I was always intrigued by, watching the ghost shows and just, just always wondering, and curious about the paranormal when I was a kid. Never really experienced anything as a child. And, it wasn't until it was 2020. It was like right when COVID hit, really. And so I was watching, there was this other guy on YouTube. I was watching him. He was exploring cemeteries and he was just filming himself in these cemeteries. And I'm sitting on my couch. Mind you, COVID just hit. And I'm, we're just, everyone's streaming, everyone's watching YouTube and Netflix. And I was watching this guy for a while and, he's exploring these creepy cemeteries in Florida. And I just was sitting there. I'm like, well, I can do that. And my fiance was like, well, why don't you? And shortly after that, all the camera gear came. I started visiting local cemeteries. I started researching the most haunted cemeteries in Milwaukee. I've been to numerous ones, and I started kind of just doing what that guy was doing that I saw on YouTube, and I was making my own videos, and here I am. I mean, it was literally 3 short years. I mean, I ended up on top 5 channels almost immediately, which helped me boost my subscriber count on YouTube. And I got a lot of views, and Travel Channel came along and did all that, and then PARAFlixx. And then, I mean, it was just, I think I needed adventure in my life. And I never thought, I would say, 10 years ago, I would never think I would be doing this at all. So that's pretty much how I got into it. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Mike Minnick here has got shirts and a bag that he's selling, and I believe you do the same thing.
He said he was on Facebook. He took a picture. I sold him a shirt, and Mike's a great guy. You guys gotta go check Mike out. He's
hey, Larry.
Yep. Hey, Larry.
Yeah, I saw the text before we got going about an hour ago. Very nice. Very nice, Jeff. Oh, okay. Take it easy, Jeff. Thanks for stopping in, saying hi. Jeff is from Ohio. Jeff. He has a castle, I believe, in Ohio.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So then maybe that'd be a spot to go do some video shooting.
Absolutely. Hey,
And
Kat.
there's Miss Cat saying, "Hey, hopefully you're feeling better, Cat. I know that the last 2 weeks have been rough for you." They just had
Yeah,
a great investigation at Sheboygan Asylum.
that's right. Yes, yes. A
So
place I have not been.
I was there in 2017. Hey, Bill.
Nice. Hey, Bill.
Uh, Speaking of Bill, if you see the ticker down below, that ticker is for Bill's uh, middle school and for restoration. So please click on that and help him raise some money for his roof to stop the flooding holes upstairs on the third floor. Greatly needed. So once again, please check out that link below on the scroll.
Absolutely great location, by the way, Bill. That was it was a privilege to be there. That was a great location. So yeah, any way that anyone can help, let's get that going, because that's considered a new paranormal spot as far as
Hot
anyone
spot.
outside. Yeah, absolutely. So
Hey, Amy.
hey,
Amy is part of MGSI, Midwest Ghost Seekers Illinois, with her husband Scott. Oh, groundskeeper at the. Oh, okay, there he is. He's a groundskeeper at this house here. That's what.
Belair House.
Yep.
If I'm saying that correctly.
Let's see. And Larry, I accidentally blocked Larry the last live. So I'm glad he made it to the show because I was trying to block some girl that just kept on posting and posting and posting like she wanted to get on TV. And like,
Yeah.
lady, I'm not taking your stuff.
Spammers.
Oh yeah, dude. She wanted me to show us her orb.
Oh,
And I'm like, no. Orbs are 99.9% time dust, bugs, lightning
yep.
bugs.
Yeah,
Far
I'm
few in
surprised
between.
people still will try to prove orbs are. Yeah, there's so many factors with orbs. You can't prove or disprove them, but you can
Mhm.
when they're dust, and 99% of the time they're dust. Sorry,
Exactly.
folks.
Well, I mean, I've like I said, I've only seen 3 orbs in my life. So
Oh.
what's Justin working on tonight now? She says.
I'm doing the currently the missing 411 in Wisconsin. So that's if you're not familiar with the missing 411, David Politis, retired police officer who actually he tagged that name, was visiting a national park, and park rangers approached him and told him they started talking about mysterious people, or I should say mysterious things happening to people, and they're disappearing in mysterious ways. And there are so many theories of why a 411 case becomes a missing 411 case. Cryptids, aliens, interdimensional portals. It is so vast. What do we call those? Skinwalkers? Yeah, those are part of it too. Yeah, so there's over 1,600 people that he located on a map throughout the United States. Wisconsin, actually, I'm working on 12 specific cases that fit this profile, the missing 411. So it's been very difficult to actually film a consistent series with the missing 411 because it's constantly changing. Now, David Politis, he puts out his own documentaries. Now it's like UFO stuff. And he doesn't always, I think David Politis doesn't, he never gives his opinion what he thinks it is. He lets you as a viewer determine through evidence and, interviews and stuff like that. He lets you determine what may be causing these specific occurrences, I guess, the missing 411 to happen. So Wisconsin has quite a few of them. Actually, I emailed he's got the Can-Am Missing Project, it's called, on YouTube, and I've emailed them to see exactly how many missing people in Wisconsin fit the missing 411 profile, and it's probably in the hundreds.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just tackling what I can. I got about 12 that I'm working on right now, and I don't know if I'm going to be too specific when it comes to the PARAFlixx series because there's still ongoing investigations through the police departments and search and rescue, so I can't really tap in like I want to. But you'll get a fair share of what the 411 missing 411 is, and we will. I don't know what I'm going to find, so that's what makes it interesting. So, and I'm doing it all solo.
Well, That's the way. That's how you learn. And when you do stuff solo, it's how you learn even better.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. Good question.
Pretty cool. And then there's that the one in Baraboo. Is it Highway 12? Is got the famous hitchhiker.
Yeah, that's is that Stevens Point or is it Baraboo?
It's out by Baraboo in Wisconsin Dells area.
Okay, so I know of a few. We got quite a few roads that have like, like ladies in white dresses and hitchhikers. And there's a Boy Scout road where a bunch of Boy Scouts like in the 70s disappeared or got killed.
Boy Scout Trail or something like that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I have yet to visit that. I'd like to, but I heard it's private property now, so we'll see what we can do. Yeah, there's just so much out here. There's just so much in Wisconsin that is not being tapped into. And I do plan on, I'm covering as much as I can. It's just, the 411 series it takes so much time for research. So it's taking most of my time up now because that's what I want to present on PARAFlixx. And, you're not going to see that on
Point
YouTube.
as well, you said.
Yeah. So, but there, you got the Indian, reservations. It's just so much in Wisconsin, just so much.
Oh yeah, it's all over. Wherever you find a casino, like 12 miles down the road.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is true. I mean, hey Dan, welcome.
Hey Dan.
It is true. We have a lot of urban legends here, and there's that one by down in Bray Road.
Oh, the Beast of Bray Road.
Yes.
Well, yes.
I told Nathaniel. Yes, Nathaniel Henning, which is part of my team and filmmaker and stuff like that too. I said, hey, we need to do urban legends. So
absolutely,
if we can get something going, that'd be pretty cool to have you out there and just start filming, try and catch some stuff.
There is a gentleman on that actual road who I think his family their farm has always been there. Since day one, basically. And the man that lives there now, I think I don't know if he's in his 60s or 70s by now, but he sets up trail cameras in his field, and he's had cattle mutilations there that they cannot explain with like high radiation levels, like stuff. So I'm going to try like one of my, I probably shouldn't say this so no one else comes up with the idea, but I'm just going to tell you, I want to actually camp out. If I can get permission to go on that guy's property, there is still events happening all over that area. And a lot of people think it's the natives believe it's the Wendigos or the Skinwalkers. That's so. And I did a video. We walked the 4 miles of stretch of road and heard some stuff, and that was it. But other than that, there's this farmer is constantly getting activity there and seeing lights in the sky, and it's just crazy, just so crazy.
Yeah. And when you're talking about the cattle mutilations, those are a heavy connection with aliens and stuff like that. So,
yeah, it's just crazy. Did you hear about Texas? I saw it on the news here. There was some farm in Texas that had like 12 cattle or something like that. Like precision surgical removal of things, and they went through the butt.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah.
And then I heard of one that this guy's farm, he had 30 pieces of cattle missing.
That's crazy, man.
He's like, he could take truckloads and people would notice that they're leaving or going away from this area. Nobody saw them where they went. So they're still missing. Yeah,
they probably went up.
Probably did.
You never know. Like that's the thing. I never thought I'd get into that stuff either. And it's just common now. It's so common.
It's a wild area. It's just like that movie Nope. Have you seen Nope?
Oh, I just recently saw that last week.
The floating butthole, I like to call it.
I saw the end of that movie, and when it started doing all its crazy ship shape, I don't know what they were doing. That'll turn your brain around a lot. Is if you watch that movie, it makes you think. But that's that was a great movie.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Very.
I was telling a few people that last week I was at work and I was listening to 44 hours of Coast to Coast. And my God, the stories on that is mind-boggling.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So what was your first paranormal experience that you saw or heard, and where was it at?
Um, so yeah, that's also a very good question. Um, when I first started doing this, again around 2020, growing up, when you believe in something like this, you're always waiting for it to happen type thing, and it just never did. There was times where maybe, but I guess the real moment is when I actually started going out and investigating and looking for it. Which
Hmm.
some people will say don't go looking for it, and I did. And I was at a cemetery. It was like my third video posting on YouTube. And during the day, it was like 10:30 in the morning. I was Calvary Cemetery in Milwaukee. It's right by Miller Stadium. And I'm
Oh,
walking through the cemetery, very old cemetery. And there was a crypt. It's sealed. It was over 100 years old. I can't remember the date on it, but I know it was about 100 or more years.
hmm,
And it was sealed off. And I'm walking around and I'm just kind of talking to my camera. At that time, I was just, I had a cell phone and I was just kind of talking to it. And I heard a whistle. And that whistle sounded just like this. It was like this. And it was just as clear as day, as if someone was standing there. And I heard it, and I walked around this whole crypt. There was no one around. And it was just, it kind of like threw me off guard because I didn't see anybody. And I
right.
started looking at this crypt, and there was vents in it. And I was kind of, and I heard it again. It kept whistling. And I caught it on camera. I caught the audio of it. And this was about maybe a 10-minute video, and I left. And that was the I would say my first actual experience. Now, I mean, following through that, I've had experiences being scratched. I've seen things in midair that I can't explain, like movement in air. Before I even started doing what I do now, but I could never,
Hmm.
I would never conclude it to be paranormal because I didn't know. But
Right.
hearing that and getting on camera, and then that was the first thing that kind of just, I couldn't explain that one. There was no one around. So, and you could hear the echo from inside this crypt too, which made it creepy. So yeah, that was the first time.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So do you want to share your camera setup and how you do all the filming and stuff for those who want to do what you're doing? Kind of give in detail, like how do you get everything set up and what do you use?
So yeah, basically you want to keep it light as possible, because if you go to a place, and it's always a challenge, I would say lighting at night is, it's a huge challenge to try to get the proper light unless you're using night vision of some sort. So what I do is, so I work with a DSLR, it's just those basic, it's a big camera, little handhelds.
Hmm.
You strap it on, you put it on a gimbal or whatever you want to do. And I use a really wide lens. So like 10 millimeter, I could do 10 millimeter to 18 millimeter. You want to just you want that lens opened up all the way so you can get as much light as possible. And, a flashlight, and I'll use it like kind of like a medium sized panel light about this big. I'll put it
Okay.
right on top of that, and I usually just kind of wing it that way and let my lights do all the work. And a lot of the time at nighttime, it's very hard to, like, video will be grainy, so it doesn't look that great if you were to capture something. So it's a
Right.
challenging. It's just hard to film at night. It's always been a challenge, but night vision, I've caught things on that too. But night vision, if I do use night vision, I usually have stationary cameras, and then
Okay.
I'll set them places, and then it's IR light. I'll use like a flood lamp IR light, and I'll just let it sit there for a few hours. But
Interesting.
yeah, just lots of light in a camera. You can use your cell phone and do it. I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple.
Have you ever checked out? Hey, Taryn, what's up?
Hey,
Uh, have you ever tried the Phasm Light and Phasm Cam from Ghost Stop?
I've heard of that. I have not.
So it's
No.
got its own Wi-Fi system, so it hooks up to Wi-Fi on its own,
Hmm.
and it's pretty slick.
Yeah, I've never used that. I gotta. So what is it?
Sounds good.
Is that camera? Is that like a? That's not a camera, is it, or is it like an EMF meter?
Hold on a second. I got it right here.
Oh, nice. You got one. Okay.
For once, I actually got some on hand. So what it is, it's this right here.
Oh, yes. Okay, I have not,
It's
okay,
just
so
a
you
little.
got the actual camera on top of it then.
Yep, it's all
Okay,
magnetic.
that's slick.
So,
Okay,
and
so I
this
did
has
see that.
multiple colors. It's a static array. I don't know if you can see that real good.
Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet.
So, the camera and the lamp, and I know that I believe Mike's got one too. I think. Um, it's not bad for 199 bucks. You get the
Yeah,
pair.
yeah. That's the thing about, like, if you want to get real night vision, I mean, like, I don't know, I'll even call it military grade type night vision, where it actually uses the like atmospheric lighting from like the moon.
Hmm.
You'll spend thousands of dollars on that full spectrum type stuff.
Absolutely.
But what you have there, I did see that, and for the price, that's I mean, if it lights up a room, that's all you need. I mean, if it lights up a space, I should say. But it looks very interesting. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, like I said, it's got its own self-contained Wi-Fi. So you don't have to use your phone's Wi-Fi to connect to it like a
Mhm.
hotspot. What
Right.
it does, there's an app in your phone you can get, and then it can go right to that video footage, and you can go stream it.
That's so slick. That's pretty slick. So
So
it's kind of like a you could use it almost like a what are they, like
GoPro,
hunting camera or something, or a GoPro.
yep.
Nice. I like that.
So I just figured I don't know if you knew if that was something like that out there, but I think that would come in handy for you if you wanted to
Absolutely.
record, and then it takes a SD card, a micro SD card. Um, Now she just picked one up in the gear. Yep.
Oh, nice.
See?
Okay. All right.
So it takes a card that now the downside I would have to say is if like if you're in a building with anything metal wise, like the museum, um, that one there.
Hey, you got a promotion.
All right,
There you go.
interesting. I'll have to look at that, reread that later. Thank you. Um, so with this camera, it's like if you're in a jail, like at the museum where I do the bookings for,
Mhm.
if you go beyond that to do a live in a house part, it cuts right out.
Okay.
So something like that, it's kind of touchy, and then you only get like 45 minutes of film.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the only
Well,
downfall.
still,
I would say if
even
they make another one, expand it to like give us 2 hours of using time.
yeah. What I've been using, I don't, there was this guy, I don't even remember who I saw it from. So I rigged up my own night vision camera. So what I did is I went on eBay and I bought like $100. It's like a just a cheap, IR camera, right? You can see IR
Mhm.
light. $100, and then I bought a $15 IR flood lamp from like Amazon, and then I put a portable battery, and I connected all of this, and I
Right.
put the SD card I put in it. I don't know, like it could record up to 4 hours, and that's what I have now. They've done it with knockoff GoPro type cameras, and so you can get that wide view, and it works great. It shoots in 1080p, so that was like the next best thing
Hmm.
for me. But I do want to try what you have there. In Ghost Stop, I've bought equipment from there before. They not only make it, but they test it and they sell it. So it's the one place you probably want to buy your gear from.
Okay.
And they always have the new stuff too. They always have like right what you have right there. That's pretty new because I remember I saw it. I just didn't really look into it too much. Um,
Yeah.
but
Ethan Cameroon, he's got three of them.
nice. Okay.
So he just uses it around, um, like Edinburgh Manor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
yes. Taryn agrees. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's cool to what you use and how things are going, and definitely waiting to see what a lot more stuff you got going on because it's what you do is pretty cool because
Mhm.
not a lot of people you see urbex. And if they are a lot, it's illegally, like you see in like England
Right.
or something like that. So we want to tell the people the process of finding locations and let them know how to legally urbex.
Yeah, and it's tricky. So when if you do anything, okay, so if you like, if you're in a city, let's say, which is a lot harder, by the way. Like, so there's this mall I've been trying to get to. It's Northridge Mall in Milwaukee, and there was people getting into it constantly. Anytime that you see no trespassing sign or private property, the minute you cross that threshold, you're breaking the law. And you got to keep in mind now, there is people that film doing that, but if you're putting it out there, on YouTube or online or somewhere, TikTok, whatever, you are basically filming your own evidence to be prosecuted, because sometimes the owners will come across this evidence and they can find you. So that's why I don't like to trespass a lot. So a lot of the time you do have to get permission. That's very hard to come by these days, like especially in Wisconsin. Like if you find an abandoned house, a lot of people are going to be more worried about liability, and they don't want you to get hurt on their property, because either it's very torn down and you could get hurt there. So it's very difficult to find places and actually get and do it legally. So you basically, if there's no signs, there's no crime. That's my motto. There's no signs, there's no crime. So it's on you at that point. So yeah, you want to get permission. Right. Absolutely.
Hey,
get permission if you can. Yeah. You can email, you can call people, talk to people. Like you don't want to put a video out there. And then let's say you just filmed a video, like at this mall, they were lighting fires at this mall constantly over the last summer.
Right.
You just shot a video there. Now all of a sudden the mall burnt down. Well, guess what? Your video just became evidence. Now you're a suspect. And that's why you want to get permission and not trespass. And that's why I take, that's why you don't see a lot of videos of, there's tons of places I could go, but there's tons of places I can't get into because of the fact it's private property and you cannot trespass. So when it comes to getting permission, you just got to do your due diligence and just go out there and just try to research it. Just do all the research you can. And that's just kind of how we go about it. It's very hard. It's very hard here. So not impossible.
That's people squatting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself going out of Wisconsin more to go into different states to do that sort of thing that's kind of closer by, or do you just want to keep everything in Wisconsin only?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been to Tennessee. I've done I went to Hales Bar Dam early on when I started YouTube. I was in Texas. We did what was that, Yorktown Hospital, that crazy place. So when I have the opportunity to actually travel out, and that was 2020, you couldn't travel a lot then anyway.
Right.
But absolutely, if I could go, I want to do like the ghost towns in Arizona. Like I want to go to these cave systems, as long as they're safe, and just explore, like Gettysburg, like places like that, like just where I can just, open places, like I can just get in there and film and see if I can capture anything, because there is so much outside of Wisconsin. Absolutely. I do want to travel outside of Wisconsin. Absolutely.
And you just hit the jackpot with Edinburgh with Kat, and Gettysburg with Taryn, because Taryn would show you around and tour Gettysburg for you.
Absolutely. I so want to do Gettysburg. Oh God. So bad.
See, old snap. Magic word. See,
magic word.
Hey, Lori.
Oh,
there's Lori.
Hi, Lori.
There's Taryn again. Gettysburg. Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, you don't want to keep yourself so closed off when you do stuff like this, because there's so much more things out there to be seen.
Oh yeah.
So
there's the minute they let us into Area 51, I'm down.
Oh. Are you sure it's Area 51, not Area 52?
Good point. Yes, you're right. I don't know. Area whatever it is.
At this point, it could be Area 54.
I don't think we're getting in.
Yeah, I mean, it's unless you get a hold of Art Bell from the other side, he might have a clue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it's fascinating, because we were driving down the highway, and my wife and I was like, "Oh, look at that house. Let's stop." He goes, "No, we're not stopping." But yeah, she'll definitely give you a tour of Gettysburg. So now we talked about Edinburgh Manor. and I saw it on PARAFlixx. You want to tell the people what your experience was at Edinburgh Manor for the first time?
Yeah, it's so crazy with that one. And Kat knows this. I showed up with two guys that were well, I would say, okay, I showed up with two friends of mine that never done this at all. And I needed help, I needed help filming. So they were the ones I recruited. They were friends from the job I used to work at. So I'm not gonna say their names so I don't blast them and shame them. But one of them was super scared, just kind of
I heard he
hovering
was
and
crying.
oh yeah, he was damn near. Yeah, I would say yeah, he was pretty close. So it was just kind of hard to get. As Kat was giving that tour to us, it was even for them. I mean, it was creepy. You're hearing stories. You're in a dark place, and you hear stories, and you're in a dark place. Well, it's amping your nerves up. You're starting to look around you a little bit more, and you're on the edge. When it came time for us to do our solo investigation, and she left us there. I did catch shadow. I caught a shadow in the little girl's room, and I believe in the basement I caught what I believe to be a shadow down there. Now the whole time that we were going through there together, I couldn't get these guys to separate for the life of me. So I would have went through all these levels by myself like I usually would, but they weren't having it. So I did what I could, and it was still it turned out to be a good video. But that place has energy to it galore.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to
I
call it.
can't go in the boiler room there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there's certain areas of that building that where you just see kind of it's tight. That's all I can really say about it. It's just kind of tight in there, and beautiful location. Like no doubt it has history to it, and the things that happen there obviously affect the evidence that you capture now.
Right.
And I would love to learn more about that place. I think if I will go back there, and then when I do, it's probably going to be by myself.
Well, I think Mike maybe would go with you on that.
Yeah, Mike, let's go.
I mean, he wants you to go with him in July to Gettysburg. So
I'm down. Man, if I go to Gettysburg, that'll be a dream. Just there's so
hit him
much.
up. Mike will take you.
We're going.
Mike can drive everywhere. Me, I have to have my wife drive me everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't do highways. So what is the best location that you have done so far to this point? Now, you just said Edinburgh Mayor, but what else is out there that you really want to highlight that really took you back?
Oh man, so that's another great question. When I went to Tennessee, I went to the Hales Bar Dam.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of Hales Bar Dam? Okay,
nope.
You got to research that one. It was like built in the early 1900s, and a lot of the workers when they were building it's right on the Tennessee River, and the workers when they were building it, there would be accidents where they would, as they were concreting this dam, and the water is what makes this dam. There's turbines in it, right? So it's a structure right on the edge of this river, but they had a concrete a lot within it, and they had to make it its own building on the side of it, obviously. So when they were doing the building process, a lot of the workers would fall from high places, and they would fall in the concrete, the wet concrete that they were pouring, and they would just leave them in there. So they couldn't get them out. They just had to leave those men in there. So what made this place very interesting is that there is a tunnel that goes right offshore underneath the Tennessee River, about a quarter of a mile, maybe a little less. That's where the kids back in 1920s, I believe, they used to actually cross through there during construction or after construction. And their school was on the opposite side of this river. So they would take this tunnel from the Hales Bar Dam, and they would walk underneath the tunnel. They would go through the tunnel and go to school. Well, there was two little girls. The main story from this place, they were either coming back or going to the tunnel underneath the river. The water pressure collapsed the tunnel, and water rushed in, and these girls drowned. Jeez. So yeah, it's crazy, right? And this is documented. This is actual factual information. So they, after that, the dam, it closed down after a while. There's actually a cemetery that's underwater where they buried all the people that actually worked there and the families. It was kind of its own community, and there was Indians involved. It was crazy, right? So when I got there, It was kind of a surprise because I didn't know about it either. The guy that I went with, he was another YouTuber that I worked with, and he just kind of, I got off a plane and he just took me to this place. And I remember I saw it on Ghost Adventures. That's where I recognized it from. So they were there, and I had to walk through these tunnels by myself. And let me tell you this, that was the day I almost quit YouTube or quit filming. I had now the length of this tunnel, I could only, it's probably about a football field in length, if not a little bit more. So you got to go all the way down, pure darkness, and you got to come back because there's no other way out. It's down and back. That's it. I heard baby crying noises. I've heard feet scuffling, like there was bare feet, and I heard a woman singing. And this is all on camera. You could actually verify this. That was the scariest moment of my life, and I have to say that is the most haunted place I've ever been thus far. I froze in fear when I was in these tunnels, and I almost cried. I will say that. And it was just an experience to where you're already fatigued, because by the time that we were doing this, it's like 3 a.m. We've been driving, we've been filming other things, and you're doing B-roll and whatnot. By the time when you're in there and you're hearing these things, you cannot tell what is real and what is not. But if your audio of your camera is catching it and you're hearing it with your ears, that means everybody knows, they can hear it. And it just messed with me bad. Hales Bar Dam in Tennessee, super haunted. Super haunted, man. That one made it on Travel Channel. That was an episode that actually Travel Channel picked that one up, and it was creepy, very creepy. Yeah,
very cool, very cool. Yeah. So what kind of paranormal gear do you like to use the most when you do your investigations versus like urbexing? The difference with that and the difference between going to an actual location. And I'm sure it changes.
Yeah, I mean, I keep it simple. I don't usually, if I'm doing the urbex stuff, when I am doing that.
Hey, Virgil.
I K2 meter. That's a very popular one. K2 meter. I'll use. I got an SB7 spirit box that I'll pull out. Let's see what else. I got a just a Sony digital recorder. I don't usually try these days. I don't try to prove or disprove what I'm if I'm communicating with something and I'm doing it on video, I will leave it to viewers to really what happens a lot of time, especially on YouTube, is that I'll actually just go film and people will pick up stuff in my audio and they'll timestamp stuff that they heard where I didn't tag, and that's kind of how I leave it. So I'll use I'll use a meter, and I'll use maybe an SB7 spirit box every once in a while now, but I don't like to tag my own evidence because it just seems too I don't know, people will challenge it. You know what I mean? Because if I heard it, well, do you hear it? Well, people will be like, well, there's this, there's that, they'll try to disprove it right away. So I leave it up to you. You let me know what you hear. And that's just kind of how I run my videos. Now, like if I'm doing the urbex stuff, I won't pull out any of those types of gear. I'll just explore a place, and I don't do that too much. But now, like what I got going on now, is going to be a lot of woodland stuff and wilderness stuff. So there's going to be
bears, deers,
a lot of that type of stuff. Yeah. So
Tin Man.
Yeah. Oh God, the skinwalker, the random bobcat,
or a werewolf. If you go way up north, I heard we got werewolves up there, so you better have some silver bullets.
Yeah, the cryptids, man, are huge right now. And I'm not a believer fully, but I'm gonna challenge it, So yeah, I'll use, just the standard EMF meters, and maybe if I get it to blink here and there. And I've had my name called out over spirit boxes and stuff, but even then people will be like, well, he could have layered audio and what. I'm like, whatever. You figure it out, because I'm not trying to prove or disprove. What I'm doing is I'm taking a camera with me to where you say there's haunted places and it's that scary, and I'm just going to record my experience. That's kind of what you're going to see from now on from me. Like, I'm not going to prove or disprove it. So technically, I'm not even really a paranormal investigator. I'm more of the explorer type, I guess. I really don't know what it is that, like I said, I heard a woman singing in those tunnels in Hales Bar Dam. That was the scariest shit I think I've ever experienced in my life. So,
Oh, I
so
get
yeah,
you.
I like to go. I want to see what's out there. I'm very interested in it. So I want to know why that's happening. Like, what the hell is it? Is it,
Right.
you know?
I mean that's what I was explaining before when I was talking to you. What have on YouTube is EVP sessions where I'll just throw raw audio out there of my EVP session,
Yeah.
and then I'll put the timestamps down below what I caught, and then yeah, I'm laying out a challenge like, hey, do you hear this? What else do you hear?
Right.
If you hear something
Yeah.
different, put it down because I like that because I don't care if I'm caught like, hey, this is not what I hear. That
Yeah.
doesn't
No.
bother
Yeah.
me.
And that's the thing. Like you got to have an ear for that too. Like
Hmm.
with spirit boxes of any sort, especially when it's delivering white noise on top of radio frequency. You have to almost train your ear to be able to catch the stuff that's being said. Like if you have like a SB7 spirit box and it's constantly sweeping, like and you're
Hmm.
getting full sentences, that means it's taking that many channels. And I mean, the words of the sentence are they're they're riding out throughout those channels, which is impossible. There's only something
Right.
that can intelligently do that. So you have to train your ear to be able to hear those things, and that's why it's good that you do that though. Like I would love a second opinion on my stuff half the time
Yeah,
instead of getting
I
bashed on in the
love
comments.
second, third, fourth ears. I mean, shit,
Yeah,
get as many people to listen to it and say, "Hey, I caught this." Uh, I'm gonna be having more that are coming out that the list is super ass long,
yeah,
and right now they're kind of tiny lists, but we're still at Edinburgh Manor with my EVP sessions right
okay,
now.
yeah, okay,
So I'm kind of going as long as up to the point where I'm at, and where I caught the scream at the quarry. I'll put that up there, probably the last thing.
yes, yes,
So, um, yeah, those are things I like. EVPs, giving EVPs from other people, like friends of mine have sent their EVPs over to me, and I get the ANC headphones on. It's like, hey, let me know what you caught, and I'll send it to what I caught. They're like, holy crap, I didn't hear that, and then they hear it.
I get that all the time too, where like, people are like, I won't hear stuff and people will tag it, and that's what I
See you
love
later,
about it.
Dan. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dan. See you later. Have you ever had like there's these woods out in Milwaukee, South Milwaukee. There's these woods that have it's a constant stream of water, and I always hear voices coming from within it. And it's like it's trickling water. It's pretty, dominant, but it's not too loud. But I
Mhm.
always hear voices in water, which is creating its own white noise, I guess, technically. And every time I go there, if you go there late at night, you will hear conversations just under the sound of this water, which is another interesting thing. Like I've recorded
Mhm.
that, and it's another creepy thing about recording. And I saw Mike said he relies on his camera audio, which is
Oh
most
yeah.
of the time that's where I'm catching all my voices as well, instead of using. I don't use recorders too much. I do use them here and there, but my audio on my camera, it picks up literally everything.
What do you
Literally
use
everything.
for a mic? If you don't
I'll
mind
use like a
asking.
shotgun mic.
Okay.
I'll use a shotgun mic on my camera, and when I'm not using that, what you hear on my camera is like the mic that's coming off the camera most of the time, so I can
Mhm.
keep it light. There now I'm actually going to use a lapel mic when I'm doing stuff in the woods and stuff that's coming up. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I've never used one. I hope it doesn't
Right.
take
Right.
a lot of the outsides. I want to capture everything
Well, you
that's
got they
going
have
on
the
around.
the dead cats and a windscreen on them.
Yeah, the dead cat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Deity is a good microphone. I have
oh
two
yeah.
Deity mics. I have a shotgun one, and then I have another one that's actually there's a front mic and a back mic.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So that's a D4 Pro, I want to say, or something like
Okay.
that.
I think I've heard of that. I've heard of those. I like the back mic feature, especially when you're, yeah, that's
When you're
so you can
walking, they
talk
can
almost,
get the
yeah,
back audio as they're
yeah,
yeah. So
very
and
beneficial.
that's cheap. That's like a $50 mic.
Oh yeah, that ain't nothing. Okay.
So and then there's also a few other ones that are out there. You got your oh, what's the other one? The big brand name. Rode. Rode's
Road
got
is a
their
big one.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So they got some good options. Boyd, I find Boyd mics, or Boya, sorry, Boya
Oh,
mics.
the
I
Boya.
find them
Yeah.
not as good.
I've tried one on my DSLR and my Canon, and it won't work on my Canon, but it'll work on my cell phone if I were to attach it to my cell phone. It's so weird the way those work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had too much success with those myself.
Yeah. I think you'll like the DD wireless microphones that you could hook up a lapel.
Yes. Yeah.
They're about $160 for 2 of them.
Yeah, that ain't too bad though. That's not a bad price for because those they go up in price for sure.
They do. They do.
Yeah, right now I just got some basic clip on, and it just like, you plug it into your camera, and it, maybe 60 yards, if that.
Right.
If I were that far away from my camera, we'll see. But
I'll send you a couple mics via after the show, that way you can see which ones.
Nice. Okay, absolutely.
I think I'm looking at.
Yeah. We'll
So Amy is wondering what forest you're talking about in Milwaukee, because she goes to Milwaukee a lot.
So it's not specifically a forest in Milwaukee. If you've ever heard of the Shagwamagon Forest, it's more up north, Rylander, Minocqua area. It is 1.5, 1.7 million acres of land. It basically stretches through from all the way east you can go, to the Lake of Wisconsin, like up north more. It's obviously you're not going to Lake Superior and all the way through Minnesota, basically. That is a national state forest all the way across, and there has been a lot of things that have happened in that forest.
Hey, Jamie.
A lot of disappearances in there.
Jamie, sorry.
I will be spending time in there, and there is actually Kettle Moraine Forest Unit.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yep, Kettle Moraine Northern Unit and Southern Unit. There is cases that I've Bigfoots, yes. There's been lights and alien stuff going on, interdimensional things again, which I don't know if I believe.
Cat. Sorry.
See you later, Cat. But yeah, Kettle Moraine Forest Unit is actually, I'll be in there quite a bit. That's a very mysterious place. So,
yeah, we were down there during COVID times, and that was, that's a lot of hiking. You could get lost very easy.
Oh yeah. It's a very large forest, very large park in there. So you don't want to. I carry I got a GPS search and rescue beacon I carry on me for that.
Okay.
Anytime I leave my house, basically, like if I'm doing a video, I'll wear that. It's usually on my bag. If you see some of my videos, you'll see with this yellow thing I got on me. It's a search and rescue beacon because I don't want to die.
No, you don't want to die. If you don't want to see you die, Justin, come on.
Absolutely.
You're just getting started. So
I gotta film more.
Absolutely. I mean, for 3 years, you're still a baby in this field yet.
Right, man. I know. Like I don't do the traditional group like investigations, and that's, I'm trying to change it up a little bit. I'm trying to do what people don't do, and it's very scary. I'm not gonna lie,
but it's good scary, though, because it gives you that edge from other people. Like, hey, you've been doing this for so long by yourself, now you're gonna have extra people. How does that kind of coexist? Because you're so used to a certain way of doing things,
right? And I did start out solo. I film with my good friend Jenny Coles. She's on Expedition Entity, and she's kind of finding her place in the field. And even she's into the Missing 411 series that I'm doing, and she's into all that stuff too. But I have to kind of do a lot of this. The viewers are going to want to see what they want to see is fear. That's what viewers want to see. They want to be able to sit on their couch and watch somebody on TV like I did when I saw that YouTuber before I started doing this, and get scared while they're getting scared. And that's what sells. It's not about the money.
Talk about demons.
Yeah. Yeah. When I had a baby gate. If you ever saw the baby gate video, watch that one. It was literally slamming back and forth in my house. Something followed me from a cemetery. Don't do this shit. It's bad.
Did you cleanse yourself then afterwards? Or
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I got holy water from Holy Hill, Wisconsin. Is it's considered the most blessed holy water, if you can call it that. You got to be really grounded, with faith, I guess. Whatever you believe in, it don't matter what God you believe in, but you got to be grounded. So I highly recommend that before you even go in the woods, before you go into cemeteries, don't play with spirit boxes or even Ouija boards. Know you gotta kind of make a stance and make sure that nothing attaches to you, because it will. It will
Right.
if you search for it.
So now, with you being in the woods and all that stuff in the outdoors, what is your opinion and views on Slender Man?
Slender Man specifically?
Yes,
I don't know. I think that isn't that more of a like a mythical like I don't know
it
like a,
is. But there was a case a while back that a couple girls tried killing somebody, saying that
that was
that was their thing to try to get honored by him.
I remember that. That was actually in my hometown. That was
Hmm.
actually not too far from where I live.
One of the girls is actually here in town at the mental ward.
Okay. So yeah, yeah, I know of the case. Um that I don't know Slender Man specifically. I guess I never researched it. I don't know where it came from. I know they made like phone apps and video games out of it, maybe. And then
Yeah,
I've never
creepy
really
pasta
got
is what's online.
okay, creepy. Okay, that sounds familiar. I've never actually dug into it, to be honest with you. I don't know too much about Slender Man. I don't know where the hell it came from, but I know about that case with those girls where they were trying to sacrifice that other girl,
Hmm.
and this thing apparently told them to do so. Now that it brings up curiosity for if you're a paranormal investigator of any sorts.
Right.
Um, you know what two girls at the same time believe in the same thing. It's either the devil or something cryptid. I will give it that. I will give it that. But I've never really dug into Slender Man too much. I know it's creepy.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, that's I just threw it out there because it's
Creep.
it's supposed to be in the woods a lot more, or the Blair Witch,
Blair
which is
Witch.
all made up stuff.
Right.
But at the time, it scared the crap out of me.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
but what is the strangest and weirdest thing you've ever seen outdoors while you're urbexing?
Man, the strangest thing I've ever saw while I was urbexing. I guess I don't know if I've you talking like just, anywhere type
Just
thing?
just like out of the blue, like, holy shit, what the hell was that?
They're
And you're
okay.
just going back.
Okay, so you might see. Okay, and I'm gonna share this story because it's a short story, but
We got
if
time.
anyone's ever been to Devil's Lake in Wisconsin, okay,
Yep.
this is before I started doing this, and me and my fiance, we were camping out at one of the campgrounds in Devil's Lake, and the only reason why I cannot tell this story to
It's a
everyone is
weird area.
it's a very weird area. Yeah, I mean, it's just so much to it. It's totally haunted for sure.
Mhm.
um, we set up a tent and we were sitting in lawn chairs. It must have been like maybe 11, 12 a.m. and 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And I wasn't urbex. I wasn't shooting video or anything, but we literally saw three lights in the sky that were rotating. They were in a triangle and it was just spinning.
Mm.
That is the craziest. I would say. I'm not going to swear, but it was the craziest thing I've ever seen
We
in my
got
life.
parental advisory.
Yeah. Oh, good. Nice. It was craziest shit I've ever seen.
There you go.
So the only reason why I don't tell a lot of people that is because we were drinking. So
Okay.
as soon as
That's
you
understandable.
say that, yeah, we were drinking and then we saw these lights in the sky, but it had no noise to it. And it was, if you can picture a triangle with three orbs on it and just spinning, it was maybe 400 feet up in the sky, if not like
Oh,
probably lower
geez.
than that. I have yet to see anything super crazy while I'm out doing my videos. I haven't ran in, if I go to haunted locations, that's one thing. I've heard things, I've seen
Mhm.
some things, but I've never that I would say going to Devil's Lake in Wisconsin is that I'm pretty sure it was a UFO. Pretty sure.
Oh, I would say
Pretty
100%. I
sure.
mean,
Yeah.
that place down there, it's so twisting and turning and getting lost.
Yeah.
It's a
Very.
binding location for those of you who have not been down there. It's hmm.
Yeah,
My wife actually hurt her
I
ankle
did
down
a
there one time.
camping video there a couple years ago, and someone while I was visiting there was a man who got murdered on the trail. They never found the guy who did it yet. This was like
Oh,
2 years ago.
lovely.
Yeah, I was hiking the trails during that time, and this guy stabbed another man to death just hiking. So that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody I know that lives real close by that could be like
Yeah.
that. Um, so have you done like let's get into experiments now? I'm really heavy on experiments. I like to, use cat balls, but I also like to use like fogging machines and lasers and put them mixed together. Um, what's one of the most experiments you have done out in the outdoors that's different that no one else has done?
Yeah. If you okay, not so darkness is always going to be a factor to this.
Hmm.
When you blindfold yourself, now if wilderness is one thing, but I'm saying like if you what is it called when you blindfold yourself and you're wearing like let's say a SB7 and you're hearing the
Oh,
audio.
the SS method.
Yes. I've done that once and it's crazy. I believe in that.
Right.
Something was obviously communicating with the other person that was asking the questions, and I was actually saying intelligent replies from what I was hearing. So that's one thing that I experienced. It was a haunted bar way up north in Wisconsin. Um,
Hurley.
it was in Minocqua. It's called
Oh,
Heart.
my uncle lives up there.
Okay, yeah, Heart 2 was the name of the bar. Heart 2.
Okay.
It's supposedly haunted. Actually, we caught a lot of evidence in there. As far as experimenting, I definitely want to. I don't know if. See, I don't use too many things to experiment. I guess. I mean, other than if I were to do anything, I would probably want to use like full spectrum night vision in all my
Hmm.
locations. I don't have full spectrum night vision. Um, the SLS is a good tool. Have used that in the past.
This has
Um,
got different colors to it.
See, that's what's great about that. Then that works. I like that. I would say flashlights. I've used flashlights, and where you kind of like and twist. If it's a mag light or something,
Hmm.
uh, get them to intelligently manipulate the flashlight. That has worked for me in the past.
That's one of my
Um,
favorite games.
yep,
A
the
lot of
cat
people
balls. I
hate
know
that
people use.
experiment.
Yeah, that's it. It gets creepy.
It does. It does.
As soon as you start asking yes or no questions and it's doing it, there's no way
I
that's
think it
just
does better than the Flux 2 that you see on TV. I
yeah.
think it does better than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You need pressure to hit that battery
Yeah.
in the back, you know? Something's pushing on it. So, I would say let's see. I don't know what was it? There was something I did. Um I try to get if I can have, if you always want to hear noises, but you can always explain noises, but if you can get something to
Hmm.
move, like if I were to have like a pendulum or something like that, I don't get too deep into that, but like if you can get something, um, I have used a pendulum and it was manipulating it while it was in my hand, but that can be explained off as, your wrist is moving type thing. But yeah, I haven't
Yeah, you got
really,
to have a lot of control with that.
yeah, yeah. You want these, they say you can get it to spin if you use your mind even. Like, I
It's
don't
the
know.
same
I
thing
don't
with
know.
the dowsing rods, but then they're using a
Dowsing
pendulum.
rod, yeah. Yeah, I've used those too. I don't as much. I don't think I've ever done them on video. Maybe once. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm all about the audio and visual aspect, I guess.
Hmm.
So
Well, that's understandable because that's just one of those things that that's your main bread and butter because you're
mhm.
out there in the outdoors filming, catching what you're trying to catch, going to these odd locations, and um, people sometimes are just too scared to do what you actually do because they're always thinking about, oh shit, I'm gonna get eaten up out in the woods, or there's some crazy, guy out there like Jason that's gonna come and hack me up or something.
It's a real
It takes a
thought,
lot
though.
of balls to do
It
that.
does. Yeah, it's at first it's scary, like even now, like it's getting nicer outside. Like it's people you should fear the most. It's not the cryptids or the spirits that may be in the woods or wherever location you're going. I worry about people more than anything. You don't know someone's intentions to, if you have a camp and someone's walking up on your camp, I don't know if they're gonna rob me or you got camera gear.
Right,
So that is a factor. Yes, it is a fear. You just kind
right.
of, that's why you got to go deep. deep enough to where no one finds you.
Right. This is my wife, Marcia. So she's saying hi.
Hi, Marcia.
So, and the other thing that brings up too, I don't know if it was 20 or 2021. No, this has to be like 2019, 2020. The new, like the It 2 that was coming out.
Yeah.
They had the clowns all out in the field, scattered.
Yes.
So is that, do you ever worry about that? Like something like that hiding out there? Like, what would you do if you see a freaking clown?
Well, now that
Sitting
you
out in
put
the
it in
field?
my damn brain, yes. I carry guns. Okay, so if I ever see anything out there doing that, you better run. I don't play. Yeah, so there's no way. I don't do clowns. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I know there's people. There was a clown at, like, there was, like, wasn't it popular a few years back? Yeah, where they were
Yeah,
popping up, and
right.
some of them
Because
were
they're
even
supporting the It 2 movie
yes. I do
with the
remember.
new Pennywise guy.
Yeah, I have yet to ever see anyone do that. Like, now, if you see that shit in the middle of the woods, that person or whatever it is so mentally unstable to be even out there by themselves with no lights or whatnot. It's I would probably I don't know.
He just
I
wants
would
to hand
definitely,
you a balloon, though.
yeah. Yeah. I'll hand him a bullet. Yeah. No, we don't. I don't. There's no way. No way. You got to take that serious though. Like, you don't know. People shouldn't be doing that. First of all, even if they're playing,
Right.
there's no way you should be approaching people, especially if they're camping in the middle of the woods, like wherever. Like, you shouldn't be doing
Or
that because now,
drinking too while they're at it.
yeah, right, yeah, you might get an
I mean,
axe
you
thrown
just don't
at
know
you. Or,
people these days.
yeah, it's that I've never worried about it. I'm going to now. Thank you. I'm going to now.
Sorry. That's
No
just
worries.
the human nature in me
Put
to
on my
bring
list.
stuff
Make
out
sure
to
I
fear
see no
people.
clowns in the woods.
So Amy has a question here. She was wondering, do you do a walk around Edinburgh Manor on Facebook Live a while back, or she was wondering if you did a walk around?
I didn't do one live while I was there. But that's a good idea to actually do that. I never thought of that. I've thought
Yeah.
about doing live videos before and actually going live at certain locations. The problem is sometimes is that the reception is so horrible in a lot of places
Right.
that you can't. But it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Like, you could always carry a hotspot device from your phone company on you. I have looked into this to where I'm able to go live on multiple platforms at the same time. I would like to actually get into that, but that's a good idea. I do like that. And next time I go there, I will consider that for sure.
Bill says, "Come on."
I'm not unstable.
I wasn't going to say that on the air, Bill. Do it all the time. So what are your top 5 locations that you want to go to?
Man, I don't want to sound cliche, but
Hey, it's everybody likes going to these same locations, so it's not that
they
bad.
do. I would say top 5 for me. I'm gonna say one that's kind of different, but I do want to visit Salem. You know, Salem, like the witch trials, all that stuff out there. Gettysburg, definitely top 5. Waverly Hills, I know people do it. I know people are doing it. I know it's been done, but I would definitely like to go through the tunnels of Waverly Hills. The Queen Mary in California.
Is that still open? I heard they shut that down.
I thought it. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about it recently. I heard it was shut down. I don't know. There was actually someone I watched on YouTube that they were just recently there. I don't know if it's.
Oh,
You
it
probably
might
got
have
to
been
pay an
Amy's
arm and a leg.
Crypt. I don't know if you follow Amy's Crypt, but she's in the US right now, I think.
Okay, that's yeah. I think I do actually. So there's that one, and there's I want to say Tombstone in Arizona, or is it New Mexico? I can't remember which state that's in. Tombstone is actually supposed Billy the Kid stuff, like all that stuff that's happened out there. Great place. And Louisiana, there is cemeteries in Louisiana. Like, I can't even name. I've been to New Orleans once, and the cemeteries in New Orleans are called the Voodoo. Oh yeah, there is. So yeah, there's top 5 places, and there's top 5 states. I could go on for days.
Hey, we
Yeah,
can bring you on for a part two. I mean, like I said,
yeah,
I
there's
like having
places.
reoccurring guests on. So
Yeah, I mean, Illinois has even got like, if you think about like, oh, okay, well, I will say this: if we're gonna relate Wisconsin to this, John Dillinger, up north Wisconsin, there is a bar slash clubhouse, I guess. There's it's about 5 hours from me, but that's where they found him, John Dillinger, and they were shooting at the building that it's in the movie, probably
right.
multiple movies that they made. The land around there is supposed to be all crazy haunted, so that's on my list too. Um, if I could get in there, so I have
Well, you
lots.
gotta get into the museum if we're talking Wisconsin.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Haven't done that.
Yeah, you'll have a kick out of that. You'll like that.
Yeah, I gotta
So,
have you gotta have the right information too before you go into a place. You can't just I used to just go into places like, oh yeah, this is haunted. There's ghosts there, and then you end up coming home and your baby gates are slamming by themselves because you disrespected the place. True story.
right, right. So what would you say is the biggest misconception of the paranormal field?
It's tricky. I the way I approach things now, I don't know. A misconception I would say for me, I see. I don't know. I want to hurt feelings here if someone's watching.
Hey,
Um,
we're okay here.
I don't think that when you die, you become a ghost and it's your loved ones walking around on the planet. I don't believe in that. I used to. I've
Mhm.
been to too many places where I've actually heard my name from my grandparents who are now deceased. In the play, I've heard things that I shouldn't have heard. I've been called things I shouldn't have been called. And what I want to say is that if someone's investigating the paranormal, unless you see, I'm in an understanding to it. I'm so grounded. I'm not saying I'm bulletproof from it.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty armored up when it comes to I know what I'm getting into. I don't believe most of the time that these are just people who have passed on and are just walking the earth. I believe most of the time, 95% of the time, it's probably demons who are mimicking your lost loved ones and mimicking people who have lived before. And that is what gets you attracted to it. That's why I see, I could go into that, but I don't, like I
Mhm.
said, I'm only going to go so far with that.
Hey, that.
I go into it thinking that I don't believe, like why would someone be, why do we have ghosts from 1800s only and not 2005? You
Yeah.
know, you know
Well,
what
you
I'm
got a
saying?
good point. You got
Yeah.
a good
So
point,
there's
but
this
that's a different perspective on it, though. As
how I
because we
look at it.
talk about mimic spirits and we talk
Yep.
about um uh um what's another word I'm thinking of here? I'm drawing a blank. Um, Way to go! I drew a blank.
It's okay. You're allowed.
Doppelgangers.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
So you have a
That's the way
different
to put it.
viewpoint, but this industry of the paranormal field, you gotta have your opinion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of not doing it and not having an opinion? Because we all have opinions. Some may
Yeah.
not agree, some agree. I mean, that's just the way how it works.
And that's you're right. And I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm not saying
Hey, Ron.
yeah, I'm wrong. I just what I feel is that I don't really most of the time the places that I go to, why would it be a spirit from from 200 years ago and why haven't like Robin Williams, why isn't he haunting like Robin Williams estate or something like that? Like it just doesn't make sense. I think that a lot of the time when you want to stick your nose into this, you got to remember if you're any way shape or form religious, you got to look at it like God gave the devil free reign of the earth. If he wants to trick you, this is a good way to get a lot of people to really pay attention is putting ghosts in houses. I
Mhm.
don't know if that's correct. I don't believe either or. I want to know why it's seeping through.
Yeah,
Um,
free will.
yeah, and it's just I don't understand it myself, just like anybody else. But if you start paying attention, people do a Ouija boards now. I don't mess with a Ouija boards. Spirit box is probably the digital version of a Ouija board.
Yeah, it's all the same. I mean, doing
It really
EVP
is.
sessions, it's all the same. It's just I'm
Yeah.
using a board.
So that's why I kind of just switched up and like if someone says there's a really haunted house over there, Justin. I bet you won't go in there. Well, I bet you I will, and I'll probably poop my pants while I do it if something happens. So you'll get that on video. Like, but I just have a
I laugh
different.
because you emphasize the word poop
Yeah,
on YouTube a lot. It's funny.
I just
A
get
lot of poopies over there.
Yo, if I get scared, that's good TV because like I get scared. Sometimes I get scared. It's harder to scare me now, but
Yeah.
that's why I have to up the game a little bit. But I also do want to know, like, maybe there is people walking around who passed that might be in the middle that passed on to a tragic death that got maybe killed too quick and they don't know where to go. I do believe in that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to answer that question, like, yeah, I it could be either or, but I think a lot of the time it's something messing with you, if you give it a chance. But other than that, like, it's possible that it could be trap souls as well, for sure.
Right. I mean, it's and what Bill's saying here is like his spirits are all different dates and stuff. So
yeah, and that's good verification of that too. Like, but we don't know why they're there. Maybe they like that place. Maybe that's just the last place that they remember.
love Bill. That's why they're there.
Bill. Yeah, Bill's a very you could like Bill very, very quick. I like Bill. We love you, Bill.
See, now Mike is saying it could be aliens as well.
Ooh,
lizard people.
That's going deep, Mike. That's going deep.
Yeah.
Cryptids,
you got the
aliens,
the Greys.
Yeah. It could be.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Okay, so Kathy's got this question. What does everyone wait until why does everyone wait until dark to investigate? Why not during the day? You can do both.
You can do both, yes. Like I said, that whistling ghost I did in the cemetery, that happened at 10:30 in the morning. Like literally 10:30 in the morning. I got that evidence and it was nuts.
I would say that's the biggest misconception right there in the paranormal field.
That actually is the biggest misconception. I would say I think a lot of the reason is because you're you're going to be scared at nighttime for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You just know you are.
See, you intrigued Bill now.
If you come back to Broadhead, we can talk. I'll come back, Bill.
Bill's location has a lot of activity during the day. He tells me that all the time, more so at night.
Yeah,
moving his tools around and whatnot. I mean, it can happen anywhere. Edinburgh Manor's the same way. I did a live because I couldn't go because I had COVID, and I said, "Hey, Kat, I got COVID, but I'm still good. So let's do a live day-night investigation on StreamYard and show people that you can do the same thing at day during you do it at night."
And it is. I think I've caught things during the day. I was taking a shower in a bathroom at 4:30 in the morning, and I've had something pound on my bathroom door during the day. I mean, that was during the day to me. Absolutely. Like, there is no time. I don't think it doesn't matter. I think sometimes it probably happens more than night.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. That is
it all depends what your camera catches.
True. Yep.
Yeah. So the Holy Grail. So what is the Holy Grail of the paranormal to you personally? And if you caught it, would you say, okay, I'm done. I had my fill. See you later. I'm going to go for vacation somewhere else, or I'm going to keep investigating the paranormal field?
Well, I think that for me, obviously everybody wants that full body apparition. You want it to be materialistic in front of you. You want it to be intelligent while it's there. And if that ever got captured on video and it lasted long enough to be able to explain why and how it's there, that would be the Holy Grail. But I don't think that's ever going to happen because I don't think we're technically even supposed to know. But we get images and flickers of it because the energy that associates itself with it, because we're all made of energy, right? I do believe in that. If you were an emotional being at one point and you pass on, your energy is left here, and that's probably what a lot of it is. I don't know. This is just theory. But that would be the Holy Grail, just like it would be the Holy Grail if you're walking in the woods and you see Bigfoot and you're able to capture a clear photo and video of Bigfoot, which no one ever does,
I think he's an alien form.
Yeah, and it could be that it's such an elusive creature. And there's so many people that
say you get Bigfoot poop.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Has anyone ever got that?
There is some out there that say they did get Bigfoot poop. There's
Okay.
actually on a radio show I was listening to, part of the network that I do a radio show for. Um, this guy actually, I think it's out west. I want to say the Portland area. I want to say he actually has an arm. I'm sorry, elbow to hand of a Bigfoot in his freezer.
Really
That's what he's
interesting.
claiming.
That's happened before though, where
Yeah,
someone
it's
had one
like
and
2
they
years
had like
ago
a
I heard
body
that.
of one in the freezer. That's actually in Wisconsin, I believe. So up north, someone they hoaxed it or something. It was like a body of a deer, and they like I don't know did something to it.
Well, if you caught Bigfoot, what would you do? Would you show it to the world, or would you keep it to yourself and do
Man, I don't know
testing?
because either you're going to have the government that's going to kill you for it, or you take it locally to it, like you, or you go media and you get paid for it, but then you still might get killed for it. I don't know. Should you save them or should you sell them?
I don't know. It always
All
draws
I
me
know is I
attention
need
when I'm,
money, man.
when you watch King Kong, they caught King Kong in the movie, and they use him for showcase.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't imprison it. I would probably say if you're able to like tranquilize it, take your samples. I don't think we should kill it. I don't think if everyone ever caught like no one's ever shot one though. Like I don't you think the people that have guns in the woods like hunters and stuff, they see them all the time.
Hmm.
Supposedly, wouldn't you shoot one? Wouldn't you want to be that guy? Be like, yo, I
Right?
just killed Bigfoot. It was 9 feet tall, and you're dragging his
E.T.
ass. Yeah, like or eat. Yeah, it could be. It might be an alien too. That's the thing. There's always UFO phenomenon with Bigfoots too.
And the question
I
I
don't
always
know.
raise too is that, okay, so if you catch Bigfoot, you get the DNA and all that stuff, you take it to a hospital for testing. Do you think you have a chance of curing some big time disease?
There. See, that's crazy. It could be right.
That's how I look
Like,
at it.
yeah, maybe it does have like something where like MS or something. Like some crazy thing that we can't control. Like you know, AIDS. I don't know. That would be
Bigfoot with
amazing.
AIDS.
Yeah, MS and AIDS, man.
Oh,
HIV. Well, that'd be amazing. Like if you keep seeing them, now you got a lot of guys. Okay, I don't know. There's these guys that are out there in the woods filming video and they're putting seasons out there and they're tree knocking and they hear I can't do it, man. I got to catch it. Like there's just if I'm not putting video out unless I get something that's dominant like as far as evidence goes. Like there's just these things with you gotta I don't know. You gotta capture evidence as much as you
yeah,
can.
she was talking about my daughter here. She's in biochemistry in
Nice.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
So, but she's more to the hospital, the medicine side of things. It'll become become fatal.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many more topics we could talk about tonight. It's been an awesome conversation tonight.
Absolutely. This was awesome, man. Like, thank you.
Um, so I always like to end the show like, like I said, it's fantastic show. What kind of message would you like to leave the viewers tonight? Like I said, hey, I was just on the show and this guy was telling me this, and what do you want to leave with them in their brains when they leave the show?
you know, um, Especially, if you're watching something like this, obviously, like stay curious, if you want to do,
Hi, Amy.
especially people who might watch this, like if you want to like start filming your own stuff, just go out and do it. Like, just, go in your backyard, go to your local cemetery. Like, don't ever feel that you can't do something. I never thought I'd be doing this. I used to do completely like, I wouldn't even say opposite. This is so far off the grid for me.
Hmm.
I just happen to be in love with filming and I happen to be in love with uh, telling a story. If, I may not be that great at it, but that's what I enjoy to do. I mean, my message would be to people is just, follow your dreams for one. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I've never thought I would have a brand name like Visually Creeped or be on PARAFlixx. Certain networks picking up my show and then doing what I'm doing now. So it's always it's a shocker to me. So don't get too tied up and I think I started doing this because I was just stressed out of COVID. I just started going out doing stuff, just experiencing what the outdoors was.
Right.
I needed something new, explore more. That's my message. Just explore more. Don't matter what that means to you. Just do it. And that's what I found to be my happiness. So explore more. I actually got, check this out. Hold on. I got it right here. There you go. Look at that. Explore more. See that?
There you go.
There's my message.
Great motto. Great motto.
Yes. So that's what I'm about.
That's what I like. I like hearing that stuff because it just makes you feel good that people are out there doing stuff and just taking a chance,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not going to get anywhere if you don't take a chance. And I just and like Bill, he's trying to rebuild the building. So
yeah, and I wish I know he'll get that money eventually to get that roof fixed. If I was in a financial position to help him, I'd totally do it because I know that place is a hot spot of just
absolutely. And when they work on the roof, it's gonna be an even more hot spot.
Oh yeah, they're gonna start messing with things. That's true.
Oh yeah. The crawlers up in the 3rd level. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The fingernails, the finger hands, or the fingers, and on the beams are going to get darker. They're going to get more.
Man.
They're going to mess with your cell phones more.
Yes, that's when I should go there. That's when you start messing with the roof, Bill.
Right. Speaking of Bill, if you have not yet, go down to the ticker here that's scrolling across. That is the website you can go to help restore Bill's building for his roof. And if it's $1, if it's $10, whatever you can offer to give to him, he'll take it gladly to help towards for his roof. So let's help him and get to reach his goal. I'll keep that ticker on there as long as he reaches his goal, and then once he reaches his goal and he's got a new one, I'll put a new one up there. So,
Bill, I don't think you need to go to the streets. You going to the street? What is he saying? He's gonna go to the streets now, or what?
Pull up those pant legs at the corner. Hey, he's got to be in the clown suit for that,
Ooh, yeah. You could trick him.
Right? Hey, what's on your iPad? Hey, can I have some money for my roof, please?
Yeah.
I'll give you a sucker or a balloon.
Just come in my building. Come.
Yeah, come on. See the spirits in my building.
Don't worry, Bill. We got your back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
$1 bills.
Bill's like, stop it. Stop it.
Gonna accidentally turn into a green dot on the map for no reason.
Right. Awesome interview with Justin. Got to have you back on with some more stories and
anytime, man.
Different topics you want to talk about. So thank you everybody for joining us on Paranormal Brew, BB3 TV Networks, Midwest Ghost Seekers, Darren Bus on Facebook. You can join us on MGS Paranormal, BB3 TV, Paranormal Brew on YouTube, and Darren Bus on Twitch. And Justin, how can the people get a hold of you?
You can go to YouTube, Visually Creeped. You can go to PARAFlixx. You do have to pay $4 a month for it, but that's where you're going to get the most exclusive episodes is on PARAFlixx. Those are episodes. They're not YouTube videos. That's where you can catch the Missing 411 series. I got episode 2 is coming out on that. You can reach me on Facebook, Visually Creeped TV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which I don't go on ever. So maybe Facebook is probably the best way. But yeah, you can reach out to me all through there. I post daily on all those platforms, social media sites. So yes, thank you guys. I appreciate all your support. Absolutely.
Bill says a red light district.
It's getting dirty. Oh.
Hey, who's thinking that way?
Show some cheeks. Come on, Bill.
So for Justin and I'm Darren, you have been watching the Paranormal Brew and BB3 TV and Darren Bus and all that stuff on the Paranormal Question of the Day. I bid you adieu, and I'll see you all next week. No show Friday. So long, everybody.